Hi, I'm Kevin Castaneda, and this is Kevin's Mindset, where we talk everything finance, investing, mindset, and productivity. And today we're going to be talking about whether Coinbase is a $500 stock today. So the simple answer is yes. But if you do want to know why that is, go ahead and watch the rest of this video. If not, then I do appreciate you clicking on, and see you in the next one then. But if you're going to stick around, then go ahead and smash that like button, as it really helps me in the YouTube algorithm, and I would very much appreciate it. Also, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, as you definitely don't want to miss any more content about Coinbase, Tesla, Lucid, and many other tech, high PE, and just some cool stocks. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so to start off, Coinbase has been around for a few months now, as it IPO'd right at the peak of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was hitting around 64,000, we get our first big brokerage enlisted into the NASDAQ, and everyone's super excited. Crypto's going to new highs. It's going insane, right? And at the same time, when everything's going ballistic, now that we look back, that was the peak. That was the peak. That's where we look back at and we're like, okay, that was the top. So now that takes us to where we are today, which is 50% down from there. Where at Coinbase, we went down from like 400 something down now to where we are, which is about like $215 per share. And also with crypto itself, we have Bitcoin down from 64,000 to all the way down to 28,000 on June 22nd. So now we're doing cool, we're doing all right, we're gonna see where things go. However, we need to kind of pay attention to everything and see all these indicators. And how would Coinbase be worth $500 today if crypto's crashing, everything's coming down? Now, I think if we look at long-term perspective, it's definitely worth 500. It's forward PE and all these metrics, and it's sales and all these things we can look at, and we can make a fundamental case for why it's worth $500 now, as they're the leader of the industry. They have tens of millions of customers. They have billions of dollars per quarter. They have hundreds of millions in net profits. Now, they literally made $300 million in net profit in Q1. Now we're gonna see Q2, but we did see a big crash in crypto. But that might also come with the thing that everyone bought the dip on crypto. So, and we might continue that rise. So we'll see how Q2 earnings are. And I do think that Q2 earnings will be better than most people expect, because people are thinking, okay, crypto crashed, that means people aren't buying. No, crypto crashed because big hedge funds and people like that sold out. But the common investor, the retail investor, we're going in, we're buying the dip. And as that happens, we're getting new people who see this as an opportunity, who are starting to understand. And as time goes on, we get more and more people in crypto. And that really it sets up Coinbase for a nice place. The fact that it dropped and Coinbase is still here, Coinbase is still there, and people are still talking about crypto, and crypto's not gone away. It's nice for us to see that, and everyone's buying the dip and we're continuing with it. So this is nice for us to see, and I think that the fundamental case for Coinbase is very, very easy to make, and it's easy to see that, okay, a leader in a space who's making money right away is honestly very nice to see, and we know that the company is worth something. Now, to define that value, we can also go with the thing that, okay, people don't know how much Bitcoin should be worth, because technically it doesn't have earnings, that's nothing like that. So you kind of just base it on the worth of other things, like gold. It's like 1/10 of gold's market cap. So everyone's like, okay, it has this much to go and stuff like that. But the thing with that is that there are some issues with that, which we will not get into in this video, because we're talking about Coinbase, the brokerage. So, but with that, we can kind of articulate a nice price, because we could be like, okay, so Coinbase is worth this much right now. And yes, they have their PE, they have all these things, but we also need to look at the price of crypto as a direct asset, because if we look at things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and we see their prices fluctuate, how we see their prices fluctuate is really important for Coinbase. And so that's why they're so directly correlated. When crypto comes down, Coinbase comes down. When crypto goes up, Coinbase comes up. And I think with that, we also have a short squeeze potential, which I've talked about several times on this channel. However, if this is your first video about Coinbase from me that you're seeing, we can go over this once more, where I think that Coinbase, if you go on S3 Partners and look at their data, you cannot see the short interest on Coinbase, because it's still a pretty new company to the NASDAQ, so it doesn't show you that. But if you go to crypto, we know crypto is being shorted. We know it is, okay? So we have crypto being shorted. There's no way Coinbase hasn't been shorted. There's no way no one has been shorting it from 400 something down to 200 something. There's no way that there's not someone out there or a bunch of people out there who think that it's gonna go into the hundreds, under 200 now. And you know what? That might be possible. If Bitcoin hits 20,000 or lower, I think, yeah, Coinbase might actually break under 200. And that's a bigger opportunity. You can buy all of these together. And the thing about Coinbase is that it has a really good case when it comes to inflation. Now, when inflation's high, a lot of people use Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation because a lot of people see it as a currency, right? So a lot of people buy it as a currency and a store of value. And this kind of sets it up for, okay, we see it as it's doing this, it's doing that. And a lot of people have it like that. They think it's a currency and they use it as a currency. And that's fine, that's dandy, that's great. But the reason that's so important is because against inflation, Bitcoin does well. If inflation's high, Bitcoin does well because if the dollar is losing value, Bitcoin as counterpart currency is doing. Sorry, my camera cut out. I'm not exactly sure where that ended up, but I was just talking about inflation and how Coinbase can do very well with inflation. Because if inflation's high, then yeah, stocks start to sell down because the Fed may have to raise interest rates and all these things, and that could be bad for assets. And we're not going to get into that whole spiel right now, but we do know that if the Fed raises interest rates, we have other things that go on. But just with inflation being high, momentary or long term, which I think it will be momentary and transitionary, and or transital, and that eventually it will be gone, it'll subside. So, but with that, we know, okay, high PE stocks will do good if inflation's high momentarily, but in the long term, we know that inflation will be lower. So tech will do good, and Coinbase is tech. It's part of tech, right? And then additionally with that, it's also crypto, and crypto tends to do well in high inflation periods and in low inflation periods. Because in low inflation, it's like, okay, whatever, low inflation, but we're gonna do our thing, people are gonna keep buying, and so on and so forth. In high inflation, crypto will also do good because it's going against the dollar as a currency, and they'll go up. Then it'll go up. And Coinbase has both, the best of both worlds. It's tech, high PE, and it's crypto. So kind of the best of both worlds. And that kind of brings me to that total case of why I think Coinbase is worth $500 today, and I think it's insanely undervalued by 2 times. So 2 times or more, it could be worth more than 500 as well. And so I do hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found some good insights from this. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, as I love all your feedback. Also, go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already, as I would very much appreciate it, as it would help me in the YouTube algorithm and all things like that. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Do you want more content like this? I'm just kidding, but I'm not really kidding. Subscribe. But I'll see you in the next one. This was Kev's Mindset, and I hope you enjoyed.